We're getting a cat. Cat. We're getting a cat. By Vivian French, who wrote the words, and Salvatore Rubbino, the illustrator, drew the pictures. Illustrator is a person who draws the pictures. Yes, illustration otherwise means picture. And this says, for the best children's books, look for the Bear. It's written by the Bear Publishing Company. Look, they've produced it. What do you do when your house is crawling with mice? Get a cat, of course. But rescue cat Kevin is busy getting to know his new family. He doesn't have time to catch any mice. Oh my. Let's see what happens. Right, oh look. Lots of pictures of a cat doing all sorts of things. Licking itself clean, looking, napping, eating, possibly stretching, sitting. Let's see.
There are a few mice there.
There's more. Yeah, there are a few mice on the page too. That's true. And this looks like the family. Oh gosh, look what we can see scampering around.
Mice.
There's more there. Mice, exactly.
No, 3, Mummy.
Oh yes, there are 3 here. 1, 2, and 3, and
4.
4 mice. Yes, good work. Let's see. Well, here's the first page. Looks like they've just moved in. We've got moving boxes.
3
There's a daddy
and
on a
4.
chair.
That's 4, Mummy.
Good counting. Let's see. There's a few more. There's 1, 2, 3.
1. Wait, Mummy. Oh, I know it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7, and 8,
And one more here, sweetie. This one.
and 9.
Good work. Now can we move off the book so Mummy can look at it, honey? Thank you, right. Our family got a cat because my dad is terrified, and I mean terrified, of mice. We didn't have them when we lived in the centre of town. But then we moved to a new flat in an old house, and it had loads of mice. We'd only been there 2 weeks when he stomped into the kitchen and said, "We're getting a cat." Mum said, "But you don't like cats." "Cats catch mice," said Dad. "I like them now. I like them very much." Oh, let's see what happens. So Daddy wants a cat now because he thinks the cats will catch the mice. So let's see if a cat will catch mice. Let's see. So that weekend, we went to the home for rescue cats, and we chose Kevin. Is that Kevin? No. There he is, number 5. Got number 20, number 21, number 4, number 5, number 13 and 14. And Kevin is number 5. "He's big and strong," Dad said. "He'll catch all the mice." And look at the clock. I think on the clock it's 4 o'clock now. Just gone 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
There's Roman numbers.
Vaguely. They haven't properly put the numbers in, darling. But just from knowing that's 12 and 6, that's probably about coming up to 5 past, and 4 o'clock is over here, 4. A week later, Kevin was allowed to come home with us. And me and my sister were so happy.
Look, a fish.
Yes, that's a toy for the cat, that's right. It has a tip here. It says, "Someone will come from the rescue centre to make sure you and your cat are right for each other, and to answer any questions you might have." Yes, this is little actual real life tips. So if you wanted to get a cat, you have some information. Right, here we go. Ready? Mrs. Harris next door had a cat. So we asked her how to make Kevin feel at home. There she is with her cat. See, Mrs. Harris? "Keep him inside for at least 3 weeks," she said. "If you let him go outside too soon, he'll try to run back to where he came from. He needs to get used to the idea that he's your cat." She paused. "Oh, and he'll need a litter tray. I've got an old one you can use." A litter tray isn't a waste paper basket. It's a cat's indoor toilet.
Mummy,
Yes, darling.
can we name her cat?
Well, what name would you like to give Mrs. Harris's cat?
Brownie. It looks a bit brown.
It does look a bit brown, so Brownie the cat. Right, here we go. We went to the pet shop and bought some special grainy stuff. It's called kitty litter, to put in the tray. Then we put the tray in the cupboard in the hall and propped the door open. Kevin went straight in and did a wee. There he is. So they gave him a private place. It does, but it isn't. It doesn't smell like cat food at all. It's grainy and sandy. Kitty litter, and he knew exactly what to do. See, cat poo can carry nasty germs, so always wear gloves when you clean out the litter tray. It's best to clean it out every day.
And I have a yellow say, and I have a yellow thing that makes all the thinking go away.
Oh, good work. And it says,
and I have some gloves.
and you clean it out every day?
Yeah.
Good. And it says, always wash your hands as well. So after you clean it out, wash the tray and wash your hands.
Oh yeah, I will do that.
Good job. Right, let's see now. Me and my sister made Kevin a lovely bed in a cardboard box. But he didn't like it much. No, see, look at this bed. Beautiful, with pictures outside. He slept on top of the fridge, the back of the sofa, and the pile of newspapers waiting to be recycled. He found his own bed. Yes, he found his own bed. Let's see why. In the evenings, he came and kept us company, and if Dad was there, he always wanted to sit on his knee. At first, Dad shooed him away, but after a few days he said, "Pesky cat, but at least he knows who's important." Mum rolled her eyes. I don't think Mummy agrees exactly. She's raised an eyebrow there too, look. And it says, here we go, cats have minds of their own. They can't be trained like dogs. They like to make their own decisions. So their cat made its own decision about where it wanted to sleep. And it's also making its own decision about whose knee it wants to sit on too. You like dogs more, Taya? Let's see. Oh, look. It was fun finding out about cats. But sometimes we got things wrong. Kevin hated having his tummy tickled. When we tried, he went to sit with his back to us. Uh-oh. His tail twitching. Mrs. Harris said it meant he was cross. So if it's got its back facing to you, tail twitching after you've done something, your cat is cross. He didn't like having his fur brushed the wrong way. See, she's brushing opposite direction to the direction that the fur is growing in. Some cats love being stroked and cuddled, and some cats hate it. Respect your cat's feelings. It'll love you all the more. Just like us, if we don't want cuddles or kisses, then you can't force them on us. It's the same with your cat.
Can you see, look?
Yes, look.
Look at that.
Oh, let's see some more things that they don't like. Oh, Liam, mind your eyes slightly, honey. Remember, we have to wipe the book afterwards. Oh, dear. Right, here we go. He didn't like being wheeled about in my sister's Dolly's pram. He didn't like the water in his bowl. He liked the water in the toilet better. Oh, dear. We were worried it was dirty, but Mrs. Harris said it was all right, and Kevin drank it. This is why a lot of people close the lid to their toilet as well, you see. Close the lid, stop the cat getting in, close the bathroom door. It says, look, instead of letting your cat drink in the toilet, this is probably not a good idea, because your cat's going to drip toilet water everywhere. It says, try catching rainwater in a bucket for your cat to drink. They should always have water available, but not cow's milk. It's not good for them. They do not drink cow's milk. And yes, they have no shoes on in their house.
Except for that.
That might be socks, which is why you don't want toilet water dripping everywhere, do you? Not a good idea. Let's see. Right. What did Kevin like? So we found out what he doesn't like. Now, what does he like? He liked curling up beside me and headbutting me until I scratched his ears.
So she's telling the story.
She is telling the story, the big sister, yes. He liked cleaning himself all over, especially in between his toes. Ugh, yuck. He likes it. He liked chasing a ping pong ball or a piece of paper on the end of a string. Most cats like this. Tie something on a string, pull it, and they'll chase after it. They love it.
See that? I think that might be top of toilet water.
Maybe. He liked sitting at the window and making growly noises at the pigeons. See? They don't mind though. There's a window. They're not scared. He liked scratching the back of Mum's chair. Oh, look. We didn't tell Mum. We used our pocket money to buy him a scratching post. Oh, good idea. Dad helped us a bit. Yeah, there's some toys too. Daddy helped. Maybe they needed a bit more money to buy the scratching post for the kitty. Liam, please come off the page, sweetheart. Thank you. Thank you. Cats scratch anything they think is suitable to keep their
No,
claws
it's not
sharp.
funny.
Right, where were we? Cats scratch anything they think is suitable to keep their claws sharp. A scratching post will save the furniture. So you might want one of those if you're getting a cat. Let's see. Most of all, Kevin liked eating. He ate all the food we put in his bowl, and he purred a lot. Cats are carnivores, meat eaters, and they need meat to stay healthy. Use good quality tinned cat food and follow the instructions on the tin, or ask your vet for advice. After a week, he knew he was fed at 8 in the morning and 6 in the evening, and he would rush into the kitchen and sit by his bowl. So right now, the little hand is up pointing just after 6. The big hand's just after 12. It's 6:05 in the evening, so this is his evening meal. Looks like Daddy came home with fish and chips, and Kevin, the cat, might have tried to take some. Look, some more claw marks there, and some chips on the floor and a fish there. Put your cat's food and water in separate, shallow bowls. They mustn't be deep. They like to be able to see round them while they eat, and they don't like their whiskers brushing the sides. We loved Kevin. The only problem was he didn't catch any mice, and that made Dad very grumpy. One night the mice were extra noisy and kept Dad awake for ages. He was scowling as he ate his breakfast. That cat's useless, he said. He's got to go. And he stomped off to work. Oh dear, he's not happy. Oh dear. When we told Mrs. Harris about it, she shook her head. Poor Kevin. Maybe he doesn't like catching mice. Isn't that what cats do? I asked. See, asking Mrs. Harris. Some cats aren't bothered, Mrs. Harris said, especially if they're used to having regular meals. But Dad's going to send him away. Oh, but Dad's going to send him away, my sister wailed. No, he's not. Mum sounded very firm. Kevin's part of our family now. He's staying. That's right, once you bring a cat into the home or a dog or any kind of pet, you can't really just send them away. They're part of the family. But what about the mice, I asked. You could try mint, Mrs. Harris said, or there are other ways to get rid of them. Kevin was stretching out his paws to admire his claws. Mrs. Harris smiled. Is he cleaning himself a lot? That means he's settling in nicely. Well done. See, she's watching him, and he's a very happy-looking cat. Cats groom themselves to keep their fur in good condition. Healthy fur keeps them warm in winter, and extra grooming keeps them cool in summer. My sister beamed. Do you think he can go out now? It's 3 weeks today since we got him. Let him out this evening, just before his tea time, Mrs. Harris suggested, and rattle his kitty crunchy box when you call him back in. Now, you might not have a kitty crunchy box. It depends what treats your cat likes, but rattle that, the treat box. Nearly all cats are happiest if they can go outdoors. A cat flap means they can go in and out when they want.
Did they have a cat flap?
I think they must have put one in, darling. It's important to have one. Well, you lock it at night when you don't want the cat to go out by itself, because you can't keep an eye on it, you see. But then you open it in the day. We let Kevin out at 5:30. He strolled out of the door as if he wasn't bothered whether he was in or out. But then he leapt over the garden wall and vanished. My sister burst into tears. He's run away. We'll give him 5 minutes, and then we'll rattle his kitty crunchy box, Mum said. He'll come rushing back for his tea. Or so they hope. Let's see. Oh dear, but he didn't. We rattled and called for ages, but there was no sign of Kevin. Even Mum looked worried. Dad got home at 6:30. Hello, he said. You all look miserable. What's up? Kevin's run away, my sister wailed. He knew you didn't want him and he's gone. Look, she's very, very sad, isn't she? Everyone's looking a bit sad. Mummy's looking worried. Well, they don't think she is, but look. No, he hasn't, Dad said. He was sitting on the front path waiting for me. Look. Oh, there he is. Look. He's not gone far at all. He was outside on the porch. And in walked Kevin, purring loudly. So he knows where he lives now, and he's happy with where he lives. So he comes back home after a stroll. There, okay, some tips. If you're getting a cat, cats can live until they're 20. That's about 96 in human years, or even older. So if you're thinking about getting a cat, make sure you're ready to have a furry friend for a long, long time. To keep your cat happy and healthy, he or she will need to be vaccinated against cat diseases, and it's important to keep the vaccinations up to date. They'll need regular worming at least 4 times a year, and do watch out for fleas. Your local pet shop will have treatments to get rid of them, or you can ask your vet. Cats can get lost too, so a microchip, they don't hurt, will make sure they can be easily identified and come home to you. Collars can catch on tree branches, so make sure to buy one with an elastic bit so the cat can escape. So you want a collar that will break away easily for your cat if it got caught on something. Choose your cat carefully. You're adopting a new and very special member of the family. And remember, cats are wonderful. And look, there's a few websites you could visit there as well with information. There you go. And that's the back.